because last Friday we got some very important news. So my name is Sarah Patnod. I'm one of the co-founders of Hate Free Decatur. And we have been working with our partners at the Georgia Latino Alliance for Human Rights, Project South, and the Georgia Not1more Coalition to ask for a non-detainer policy for the city of Decatur. This is something that our coalition partners have been working on for months with very little response. But on Friday afternoon, we got word from Peggy Maris, the city manager, that the city of Decatur has officially put in the city police code that they will not detain people without a federally judicial warrant. It is official that the city of Decatur is speaking out in favor of supporting our immigrant and refugee populations. It's official. So I want to read you a little bit from this new police code. So the Decatur Police Department shall not hold or extend the detention of any person at the request of the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement unless the agency first presents the Decatur Police Department with a judicially issued warrant authorizing such detention. In particular, the Decatur Police Department shall not arrest, hold, extend the detention of, transfer custody of, or transport anyone solely on the basis of an immigration detainer or an administrative immigration warrant, including an administrative immigration warrant in the National Crime Information Center database. Furthermore, the Decatur Police Department does not make the assumption that a detainer or request for notification from ICE is an indication that a person is unlawfully present. And the Decatur Police Department shall not treat a detainer or request for notification as an indication that an individual is unlawfully present. So the Decatur Police Department is officially saying that they will not hold people unless they have a judicially issued warrant, and they will not assume that anybody is here illegally just because there is such a warrant. So we are very proud and excited that the city of Decatur has made this move. I do want to share the moment with the partners that have been working on this, as I said, for many months. So if I can have Elise Cohen from the Georgia Not1More Coalition come.
So, as a member of the Georgia Not1More Coalition and a member of Jewish Voice for Peace and a member of the Create Community for Decatur, I just want to say how grateful I am and how pleased I am that the city of Decatur has put into policy practices or non-detainer practices that they've had, and how important it is at this juncture in time and critical that they show it in the form of policies to make sure that we ensure the safety and security of our immigrant and refugee populations and communities of color. Yes, exactly. I think though the practices have been in place, and again at this critical juncture, that there was an urgency to guarantee these policies to match the practices in our city so that no questions can arise about the support of them. I do want to thank Patty Garrett, the mayor, for taking time to initially meet with us a few months ago. I want to thank the city manager, Peggy Maris, for actually finally taking this into formal policy with Chief Booker and checking in with the city attorney. And I want to really thank the Georgia Not1More Coalition, Georgia Latino Alliance for Human Rights, and Hate Free Decatur, and any other organizing that has taken place around this, and how significant it is along with the other resolutions that have taken place in Georgia.
Next we have Adelina Nichols, the Executive Director of the Georgia Latino Alliance for Human Rights. Thank you.
A growing climate of hatred and bigotry, as well as xenophobia, has poisoned the political process at all levels. Our communities and neighbors feel unsafe. It is time for concerned people to stand united in defense of those who are most affected by these hate policies. We are here to denounce the raids, arrests, and detentions that has escalated in the past months and continue to terrorize Georgia immigrants, refugees, Muslims, and LGBTQ communities. We are here to send a message to the present administration, to the Department of Homeland Security, that we will continue defending and what we believe is a basic human right. Communities of color are under siege by the presence of ICE agents with the collaboration of local law enforcement that continue chasing workers, fathers, brothers, husbands, mothers that just want to make a living for themselves and their families. We have witnessed how our family members have been arrested on parking lots in their way to work or getting arrested at their homes, ready to take their children to school. Or sometimes ICE is chasing our communities a couple of streets away from the neighborhoods. We have seen how property, cars, houses, work tools are abandoned without the announcement to someone else to take care of the belongings because their owners had been taken into ICE custody. We will continue to oppose policies for mass incarceration that target and imprison and detain communities of color, Muslims, immigrants, refugees, LGBTQ, and poor people as well. We stand opposed to abusive immigration enforcement policies, including immigration raids, and we call for an end of deportation. We call to repeal as well the local, state, and federal laws and discriminatory policies. And we oppose this climate of hate policies that are affecting and are spreading by the current administration. Once again, has been the will of the people that is allowing all of us to achieve this victory. And if it is the will of the people to move forward against hate policies, we will be here up to the challenge. We all together. Thank you.
Azadeh Shashahani from Project South.
Hi everyone, my name is Azadeh Shashahani, Legal and Advocacy Director with Project South. We wanted to applaud the City of Decatur for finally deciding to adopt a policy to bring their city code and the policies for the Atlanta Police Department fully in compliance with constitutional law. And the City of Decatur is now the 7th locality in the state of Georgia. Yes. I think we're pretty unique in the South to have been able to get that many localities to adopt policies limiting their collaboration with ICE. And make no mistake, these policies have been achieved as a result of sustained and incredible movement of all of these folks here for the past 3 to 4 years, since the summer of 2014. We have been working in trying to convince our localities that basically doing the job of immigration officials for them is such a bad idea. And now finally we're getting results. And this is only the first step. We are hoping that the City of Decatur, and we'll be pushing them, that they will adopt a full and comprehensive ordinance on immigrants' rights. And we also wanted to urge all localities in the state of Georgia to adopt such policies. Most recently, we've had the City of Atlanta, the City of Clarkston adopting policies, both actually in response to the repressive and reprehensible policies of the Trump administration going after our immigrant, refugee, and Muslim communities. And lastly, I also wanted to let you all know that we are organizing together against the attacks on immigrant communities and on Muslim communities. We also have several events coming up next week and the following weeks in opposition to the Muslim ban. So next Monday evening from 5 to 8 p.m. there's going to be a people's tribunal called People versus the Muslim Ban, where we're going to put the Muslim ban on trial. And we're going to hear testimonies directly from directly impacted immigrants and refugees who were impacted by the Muslim ban. So please join us 5 to 8 p.m. at the Georgia State Law School at the courtroom. Again, we're going to put the Muslim ban on trial. And the following day, there's going to be a rally at the state capitol from 11 to 1 p.m. And these events are being organized by a variety of organizations: Project South, the Council on American Islamic Relations Georgia, Advancing Justice Atlanta, Women Watch Africa, and with support of many other organizations, including Jewish Voice for Peace, the Georgia Latino Alliance for Human Rights, and other groups. So please join us next week so we can continue to send a very strong message to this administration that Georgia does not stand for hate. Thank you.
Lori Kolenko, the Executive Director of Women Watch Africa.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I bring greetings to you from the voices of 23 African countries that Women Watch Africa serves. And I feel very happy to be in your midst tonight, because when I look around, I see faces that look like me. And it makes me comfortable to feel that at least we're nearing safety, because for, like Azadeh said, for many, many months, we have been trying to get to this stage where we are today, to having our community members feel secured, to be able to go to grocery stores, to be able to go and greet their next door neighbor, and which was a fear that they had, to the extent that even when we called them out for meeting, they were so afraid to come out to attend these meetings. So for us to have faces like that look like me, an African immigrant who have come into this country, a contributing member of the American society, to now have our members come out and stay here and say, we are grateful that we are seeing the light of day today, that this policy is being passed. And so we want to honor and say thank you to all the elected officials who have made this possible. And at the same time to say there is power in the people. Right. And it's because the power of the people have been able to move the tide to getting us to this point. And so we must continue to organize.